Western Spring Television, as it is.
Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the show. Another edition of Pertinent Question, our interview program on Western Spring Television. Agumbelewo Oshobo. Every 12th of August is International Day of the Youth. The United Nations instituted this special day to celebrate the qualities of young people across the globe. It is a day that recognizes the challenges that today's young people can or sometimes do face in life. Equally true is the fact that the celebration of every 12th of August is an opportunity that offers a chance to raise awareness of the need to ensure the engagement and participation of young people in leadership positions and, of course, in leadership matters. This year's International Day of Youth, which is now 1 week behind us, had as its theme for the year 2024, From Cliques to Progress, Youth Digital Pathway for Sustainable Development. I see it as a very encompassing theme for the youth. The world of digitization, of course, we know it as being youth-centered. The youth of the globe have utilized it even from the days of the Arab Spring onto our own challenges here, 2020, where we had the NSAS, and very recently we had a strong challenge to bad governance. It is today one technological innovation which the youth have not only imbibed, but have utilized to the full. I have 1 week after International Day of Youth brought into the studio a young man who will talk to us and face the challenges of the time. Perhaps that should explain to you why today I have dressed like a youth. Yes, when you want to go to Rome, you do what the Romans do. This is a way that young men and women dress these days. And so facing a youth, bringing him into the studio to challenge him on certain aspects of life, I have to do like a youth. So, Mr. Yemi Afiz Yusuf, it's my privilege to welcome you to this program today.
Good afternoon, sir. Nice to be here.
Thank you very much.
Always a pleasure, sir.
Good. Youth is that time of life when one can say he's a young man, and this is also a time between childhood and perhaps maturity. That's a broad thing I'm trying to look at. I'm looking at it from that perspective. But you're a young man. So let me begin by asking you, what is your idea about youth?
You see, when you mention the word youth and you want to bring it to reality, you just have to, that's the most important part of your life. Everything you're doing at that time, you have to get it right.
Mm-hmm.
It is when you have to be mentally sound, you have to be physically strong, and you have to give it your best for the future. Because when you don't get it right when you are in the youthful stage, you will be the one to suffer the consequences later on in your life. When you are a youth, you are really disturbed mentally, physically. Sometimes you're down just because you face a lot of challenges. So that phase in your life is when it is most important and you have to give it your best.
Okay. The United Nations For the purpose of statistics, it says youth are young persons grouped between the ages of 15 and 24. In Nigeria, it is 18 to 29 years. By the African Youth Charter, it is raised to 35 years. So between 15 and 35, you have a whole lot, about 20 years, to do the programming that you try to mention. What challenges face the young population of which you are a part?
I want to say something about the age statistic you just mentioned. Because in Nigeria, the word youth, I can't just seem to find it in some of our some things we do in Nigeria. Because the age 25 to 35 that does not apply to us.
Why?
Because we are being segregated, we are being neglected, we are being abandoned. So when you want to talk about youth in Nigeria, like I'm very happy you dressed like this, because a youth leader somewhere is looking exactly like you are right now, with gray hair. You see them. That's the reality we are in this country. The youth are suffering, while those that needs to retire are calling themselves youths. The youths in Nigeria that I know now starts from the age of 40 before you can be considered a youth and attain a certain position, be given an appointment.
Why is it so?
Because you people are not ready to accept us.
Okay.
Despite the fact that we are trying, we are trying our best to prove to you people that we are ready for the future. The future is now. Most things you people are doing, we are still the one doing it for you. But you just don't want to take the back seat and allow us to, be the driver, be at the helm of affairs, which is not right.
Why do you think so? Why do you think we don't?
There are a lot of instances. You still see us as making mistake. Like you want to do things the right way, which is not so. The right way you have been doing things since 18 1960, from 1960 till now. Tell me that youth that you have allowed to thrive politically, that at the biggest stage of his life, when that particular age you mentioned, 25. We're not talking about the military.
Okay, I was going to.
No, we are not talking about the military now, because I know you want to go there. We are not talking about the military. Let's go to the political side, democracy. Woo.
The
Meji, you people know what you plotted for him, because he brought some things, and before you know it, it was, it's just like a pawn. When you're playing a game of chess, the big guns are at the back. They look at you and they be like, "This, you be the sacrificial lamb." There are a lot of things you have done that you need to just take the back seat and allow us to thrive. Okay,
let me simmer you down. It looks like it is too early in the interview, and you're already warmed up.
Because you brought it out.
What did I bring out?
The way you just mentioned it, the age bracket shouldn't be so.
Okay. But I didn't quote myself. I was quoting the United Nations, and I also quoted the African Charter.
When you put something on the paper, and in reality it's not like that, shouldn't be.
African Charter has already even shifted it up, increased the bar to 35.
Yeah.
Why do you think the goalpost must change when the United Nations says youth belong to the ages of 15 to 29? The African Charter says even 35. Why are you a young man changing the goalpost?
Look at the theme for the year celebration. There's this thing we call future. When the future, we talk about future, we talk about things that shape the world. Digitally, we are there. The future we're talking about is now.
Yeah.
And the youth know how to maneuver things using digital method.
Okay.
There are a lot of gadgets now. Phone, for instance, if I give it to you, tell you to do a certain simple thing on it, sometimes you can't.
Yeah, I agree.
You have to call me. You understand? I want to use a Yoruba word. Emma song pe ajasin lo mo iwuru si ile. You understand? So we know how to go about
digitally
all these things you're doing digitally that to give us a positive result.
Okay.
Let's use Oshogbo for instance. You know, Oshogbo, we have a lot of road network, right? But I still haven't seen it. Just tell me one TV station, radio station that has been reporting traffic in Oshogbo. We still look at Oshogbo as still a very small city, right?
Yeah.
That we don't need that right now. Let me tell you, in days to come, the rain will come. The rain it's already it started today. The rain will come back. And because of the road network the construction that is going on, a lot of people will find it very difficult to maneuver.
Yeah.
Using technology, using all these digital means to give updates, to tell people this is how you need to plan your day. Rain is going to fall today. Know how to plan your movement. I'm just giving you tips, small things about why we are in the future now. Sometimes back then, if you want to talk to your brother, you want to talk to your sister, you have to write a letter, right? Yeah. And that letter sometimes might not deliver in months. But right now, within seconds, the person you want to talk to already get what you're trying to say. Yeah. So we are in the future now.
We agree with you. We are not, anybody who says technology is not the issue is losing track. But tell me what challenges you face as young people, the young population, especially in a developing world like Nigeria.
In Nigeria. You see, I still categorize Nigeria due to the treatment the youth receive as a third world country. Why? Because we are being, I used some words earlier, we're being neglected, segregated, and abandoned. We're not being welcomed. If you look at when you want to catch a fish, right? You bait the hook just to get a fish. When those are the helms of affairs now, the government, they want to do anything. They come to us, okay, they want to campaign, they talk to the youth. They know we have that power right now in our hands to do and undo. Look at what just happened recently because of the protest of a thing. They saw what happened at the entrance protest, right? They know if they let these youths come together and do things the way they want, a lot of things will happen and secrets will be let open, you know, because they intentionally put us aside. How many youth, for instance, in Osun State now, we have a speaker of the house. We consider him as youth. What's his age? He's above the age limit, the age bracket you just quoted. Yeah. But what is it called? A youth.
Is a youth.
Is that a youth?
Yeah, but I don't think he's up to 40.
The statistics you mentioned, does his age fall within the age bracket?
So what is it? What exactly?
We propose something that okay, if any government is coming out, give the youths 40% of their appointments. Look at what is happening to the youth sector. The how do I put it? The youths, the what's it called? The youth ministry. Look at the sports
ministry.
We youth occupy those places, right? Look at what happened during the last Olympics.
I will come to that.
Because
we'll come to that.
They know that if we are being invested on, a lot of things will change drastically in this country.
But you jumped the gun in a way. But then since you are talking about investment,
I still want to go back
Nigeria invested so much on the Olympic team.
Nigeria did not invest so much.
What did Nigeria do? If
Nigeria invests, will our athletes have to borrow? Will our athletes have to be given a bicycle to ride? Will some of our athletes be there without some of their sport gears? Will some of them not be appreciated? Look at what happened to our Golden Eaglets. Look at what happened to our Super Falcons. Do we have a standard national stadium in Nigeria? the one we have in Abuja, what is it being used for? How much is being invested on each athlete, each players in Nigeria? We have series of things that happen when our Super Eagles play for Nigeria. We have had the time they had to sleep at the airport. Nigeria government will abandon them. We have had the time they had to, some of them had to contribute money for them to sleep in hotels. Why?
Well, you see, you have come to this interview program with a mindset, but I'm ready for you. I'm also going to ask you.
If you had told me earlier that I would be on this, we could have brought out some statistics, some facts of things that had happened. That why is it being so?
Okay, never mind. I say, what is the youth? What is your grounds? You have mentioned some of them. What do you want to be done?
There was a time we proposed something to the government. Does the government know the number of graduates in Nigeria?
Well, I'm not part of government. So
No. I'm just trying to. I'm coming to a point.
Yeah.
That's just a question, and that question should be asked. Does the government know the number of graduates each institution produced?
Yeah, they should know that.
When they know that, they know the course you study. You go for your NYC, the NCE that are not going, you understand? They have the statistics. You have the age, certain age, people go for their retirement. You know the number of positions that are empty in each government parastatals, in each ministry and all that. Why is it that when there is employment opportunity, you already filled it up? When the potential, when someone with potentials, when someone with the required certificates go for it, they will not get the job. The past governments then, during Jonathan period, do you know how many youths died just trying to secure employment for the NSCDC?
Yes,
Was there an accountability for that? Why should it be so? You will see a youth today being used by you, your position, your power. I'm not you in particular. People of your age. You understand? Just because you are entitled. Just because you want people to give you full support. You understand? You want to be compensated for what you have done. You are given a slot. Your child from nowhere have no prior knowledge of whichever position you want to put it. You just give him the slot and he occupies it. And the youth that are capable for that position have been neglected, have been overlooked, and keep to suffer. Is that right? Your question.
Well, you see, these are your positions. You're entitled to them. But if I must also come to challenge you, I would say the youth population in Nigeria, why have you suddenly become part of the problem rather than the solution?
Let me give you an instance.
Do you agree with me that you are part of the problem?
No.
But
we are solution provider.
We have not seen that yet.
You are seeing it, but you are thinking the words that has been used by you is they are not ready, they're lazy. What they bring is unrealistic. Let's start from the recently introduced e-Naira. Have you had anything to do with e-Naira since the introduction of e-Naira?
No.
Ask me if I've done or spent e-Naira.
That's your era.
No, I'm coming up. I'm coming up with something.
Okay, build it up.
The person that introduced it, the youth developed that e-Naira of a thing. But the youth that develop it, you neglect them and you let the whole people take front page and be like they're the one that introduced it, ruining all the plans that have been made for the e-Naira to thrive. Look at what the youth have done. For instance, now let's look at all these online paying platforms, all these digital banking, OPay, PalmPay, whatever you have it. The youth introduce what's it called, Bitcoins, all these cryptocurrencies. globally. Nigeria don't want that to thrive just because they see the disadvantages of it. No, when you harness something, when you take full advantage of something, you have to be hopeful that this thing is going to work. Whatever the youth proposes, you want to hijack it. If I pitch a contract for you now, right? They hold, I don't want to be vulgar because this thing it has to us all
Say your mind.
Nigerians.
When you are getting close to vulgar, I will stop you.
The whole
But I give you the freedom
the whole
to say.
ads will hijack that from you, right? And they want to monetize it. Everything now has to do with bribery and corruption.
Because the youth have
Because
also...
I have the idea. No.
The youth have always taken the peanuts that is given to them.
The peanut that is given to them. Let me, okay, you tie me down just because I found a means to escape. I'll be like, okay, let me give you this cheap nuts. Without me, you can survive. And if I want to survive, you point a gun at me and be like, if you go, I'm going to kill you.
Has it happened to you?
I have no other means to survive. If I want to Japan now, do you know what you have cost me? I have to raise up to 20 million, 25 million naira. If I come to you to give me that, you ask me a question, what have you done for me? And I'm ready to work for my money. I'm ready to work. You're not even giving me the job. The one I'm doing, you're killing me with taxes. The means I want to survive, you're cutting it. Look at what happened in 2020 during the COVID era. A lot of millionaires are made. They were made then. Why? Because they harnessed the usefulness of online, social media, all these social media platforms. The youth, if not for the youth, some old people would have died of hunger. The youth fed those people.
How?
We went all out. That's when people with business have to know that you don't have to rely on government job. You don't have to rely on salary basis before you can make it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, but how did the youth come? You said, but for the youth.
Let's look at
the elderly.
Let's look at it this way. A lot of youth comes together and be like, okay, let's donate.
Donate what?
Let's donate money and do an outreach. Do you know how many platforms comes together? How many foundations being run by youth comes together to distribute foods? The palliative they were given by the government to be distributed to people. Did you get any of it? You as a journalist, there is a portion of it dedicated for you. Did you get it?
I didn't get it.
You didn't get it. So did you ask question who was keeping that? The thing some people get is not from the government, it's from people's pockets. Youth came together, contributed money online, reach out to people in their community, give them food to survive. When you lock us up, then a lot of youth even proposes, I have the hand sanitizers you're using then. Before it was being recognized by the, what's it called, the government, that you can use, if you want to go out, you use your mask, you use hand sanitizers. Do you know how people are even able to produce homemade sanitizers?
No, I mean...
through online. People learn it.
Okay.
You don't have to buy, you make it yourself.
Okay.
That's home learning. You make full use of the internet, the social media. You connect with people.
Yes, we have.
You are rising.
We give it to you that the internet belongs to you because it came at a time when you were...
When you want to collect it from us.
Collect what?
The social media.
No. The social media is not a question of collecting from you. It's a question of sanitizing the system.
This is not about sanitizing. You're trying to silence us.
No, it's not a silence. It is an attempt to sanitize. You say sanitize. You say many bloggers, many writers, many contributors are not professional journalists.
In the day we had today, when we're talking about anything, you look at the positive and the negative, the advantage and the disadvantages of it. I can confidently tell you that the advantage of all these things supersedes
Yes,
disadvantages.
advantage. I agree with you. But that does not mean...
Control is different from you trying to take it off.
No, it's not taking... The government is not taking it. The elderly, we can't even take it off. We don't know much as you do, so we cannot take it off you. But you need and you deserve to be controlled, because people sit in their small corner in their home and do whatever it is they like.
In a little way, I agree with that, because I also do tell people, that's what I feed on. That's what I live on. I take full advantage of social media.
Yeah. Again, you see the Americas that developed to where they are now, they also started from somewhere and were coming gradually. Today, the average Nigerian knows that it is not only government jobs that will pay you. You can go into the social media and make something useful, and you are living. Your cheeks are very, very rosy.
Let me talk about that in a little way. You see, the world we are now, I always tell people, you cannot see me or find me sitting down in an office, right? From 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. to 5 or 4 p.m. You can't.
Yeah, that is gone.
I just don't like it.
That's gone. We who live that life.
But I always preach self-sufficiency, independence. You have to be alone. You can do this on yourself, by yourself.
These days, there is working from home.
Exactly where I'm driving at. Why will a youth wake up in the morning, you take your phone, browse through all these blogs, all these gist platforms? All you do there is just to go and look at what is happening, laugh, and burn your data when you can make money off it. Why can't you just, as a youth, leave these people, stop following politicians around, asking for peanuts and all that? When you can use the peanut, the little you have, the data in Nigeria is still manageable. Go to some countries. You understand? If you are able to have 1,000 naira in Nigeria as of today, and you are able to use it judiciously, right? You subscribe. There's a lot of things you can do as a student. You can do some drop shipping yourself. You don't have to be the one producing. You don't have to be the one selling.
This is the message you need to take to your fellow youth.
I'm saying it right now. To all you see, I call some people data boys, especially in Osun. All they do is just to follow all these politicians around.
That is why
social media.
It was said that the Nigerian youth is lazy.
We are not lazy.
Non-patriotic.
We are not lazy.
Docile.
We are not lazy.
What's your reaction to it?
Section.
Oh, yes.
You can't group us together. No.
You can't group all the politicians also together. You can't group all of us in the...
all of them are proven to be the same.
How?
You have to, if you pack 100 politicians in a place today, okay, look at what happened to this senator from the north. He was trying to tell us what they are gaining and what they are earning, all of that. Well, he was told to go and rest. You understand? But the youth now, we know the right from wrong. The ones that are ready to do it, we are preaching it to the others that you can abandon these people. Join us. Let's make this money together. Come to social media. Take full advantage of it. As a student, you don't have to call home every day that you need this, you need that. You can take advantage of social media. A lot of people at home that are not educated. A lot of your mates find it difficult to learn. You can be a tutor yourself. You can go a step ahead. See, while I was in the university, early 2000, right? Till late 2000, there's something even before the social media of a thing. Let me give you an example. We went on a strike then internally in my school because there was a riot and went for 4 months. But the second month into that, I figured I was lonely. I couldn't talk to some of my mates. WhatsApp is just coming up, becoming popular and all that. What can I do? I went on Facebook and created a school page for my school. Before you know it, people started joining. And we're able to connect. Right now, the people on that platform is over 120,000 what's it called, alumni and
okay, that
normal
is
student.
the positive side.
We are preaching. You can walk, you can hand, you can disseminate information, you can send out the positive things. I'm calling on all these content creators in Osun. You're making use of social media. You're earning your money through internet. Do the positive one. Neglect the negative one that will affect people. All of us want to be a blogger. All of us want to be a reporter, journalist. But do you study it?
Okay.
Do you learn this thing?
This is what we are saying.
You just came about running skit up and down.
Okay.
Do you know the health status of the person you're going to prank? These are not to be allowed.
But young men, you do it. But
that's the negative side of it, that we are calling people to quit.
Okay, thank you very much for that.
We're begging the government to look into that.
We would be coming back. This presentation is always in two parts. We will break off and come back later. I have been speaking with a young man in the studio who is charging so very much. Yemi Afiz Yusuf belongs to the youth class, and he is stoutly defending the youth, even though some elderly ones think the youth are not being patriotic enough, and some of them think they are being lazy. But the fact is very germane. The ordinary youth is so much dependent on the politician that it is not helping. We'll come back on part 2 to resume the conversation. Please don't go away. Just keep on watching us.
Sadly, in Nigeria, we have less than 50 lions left in the wild. And even these are at risk from snares set for illegal bushmeat. So please, do your bit to protect our remaining wildlife. Say no to illegal bushmeat, because poaching steals from us all.
James Ajibola was a lawyer who obtained his first degree in classics from Nigeria's premier University of Ibadan. Born September 15, 1930, the orator and the polyglot spoke impeccable English, French, Igbo, Hausa, and Yoruba languages. His fine diction placed him among classical orators and public speakers like Cicero, the Roman orator. This attribute earned him the prefix Cicero of SLK. He authored the Kaduna Boy and an autobiography, Detainee's Diary, Constitution, and the People, among 6 other books. Bolaige was a colorful politician, elected governor of Oyo State in 1979 and appointed a federal minister in 1999. He was a pioneer founder of Afenifere, the Yoruba social, cultural, and political group. He invested his political sagacity to propel the group to the height of political leadership and decision-making in the southwest of Nigeria. Bolaige was assassinated on the 23rd December 2001. His murderers are yet to be apprehended till today. Western Spring Television identifies Bolaige as a watershed character in history.
Welcome back to the program Pertinent Questions on Western Spring Television. Before we broke up to make it up again, I was chatting with Mr. Yemi, Afiz, Yusuf, a young man who ekes out a living from the internet. He has been so strong in his position that one finds it, sometimes you allow him to say his mind because he speaks for the youth. But then the youth also have their challenges. Soyinka, the great man himself, once called the 70 to 90-year-old as a wasted generation. That is in tandem with what you have not said, but imply. The youth of this world, of our country, are they seriously ready? Can they be depended upon? I ask that question because I'll build up.
Actually, we can.
Mm-hmm.
If you're given the opportunity, we can be dependent on. And if you look at it, nowadays, before you can call yourself a leader, you have to look at the home you come from. How responsible are you? If you can build a perfect home, I'm married, I have a daughter, how responsible am I to my wife, my daughter? How responsible am I in my immediate community, my street? From street to local government, from local government to states, how responsible am I? That is the question. If I am able to run my home efficiently and there is no complaint, I'm ready to take on. Because I believe if you can live peacefully with your wife, your children, your immediate community, those people around you, and you have the knowledge of what you are to do by being guided, not being controlled, by being helped, by being advised, I can do better. If you coming into the station, aside from the director, the owner, right? Percentage of people that work there are youths.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I can say the director is doing here is just to give them directives, do it like this, do it like this. He's not being present everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Is he around now? He just give directives that do it this way, do it this way, and he let them do it. If you allow us to do this thing, we are ready. You call us lazy, you call us not ready. When some of us are ready to do this thing and you're not ready to help us, are we not going to abandon you and leave you to it? It's coming to a time that we'll get tired of you and things will take its course.
Okay. Well, where you have not gone, I can imagine. But then, why have we the elders, we say some of the things we say because our youth have lost touch with the value system. The values have changed. These days, many of you don't want to work. Hard work is not part of you. Integrity is not there. So you can't run away from this fact. But some of your young men, people like you, or your age mates, some are lazy, some don't have integrity, their value system have changed. All they want is not to work, but to earn money. Actually, you cannot earn money without work.
Actually, what you call hard work, then is soft work now.
Whatever it is.
You call hard work going to the farm with a hoe and cutlass. I'm giving you, I'm coming over. What you call hard work is give me a cutlass and a hoe.
No,
and you tell me to go to the farm. I'm trying to paint a scenario.
All right,
here.
Paint. Let me watch you paint.
Right? You tell me to go to the farm and cut the grass, just to weed the grass with the hoe, cut with the cutlass, right? And you want me to plant. When I can do mechanized farming, What you're going to cut or weed in hours, if you give me a tractor today, I can do it in minutes. And I use that opportunity to do what I want to do. You call me lazy for that. You tell me to do something for you. I look at the easiest way for me to do it. I do it. You call me lazy for that. How is that laziness to you? Let me give you statistics. Look at the number of those people that japa to UK. Let's take UK and Canada, for example. Look at the number of Nigerian graduates. The ones that came out with first class, with very good grades, right? The countries with high numbers of good graduates is Nigeria. Are we lazy? Is a lazy person like going to read and understand and write exam with strict supervision? Is that laziness? Is laziness me waking up, looking at the easiest way for me to make money, and I'm making it the right way, not illegally? And you call that laziness?
When it is illegitimate.
There's this Yoruba saying that Boshe wa niliki, lower adibwaja. It is present in your olden days. Some of you are lazy. That's why some people among us have poor parents. Sorry to use that word, poor parent, right? Now you're calling us corrupt. You're calling us unscrupulous. You're calling us names that we don't have integrity. Why some of you, even till today, the integrity you have, the only thing you have to your name, to yourself, right, is the money you have. And that money, if you look at it, is it clean? Whose money is it? Which politician around the world is bold enough to buy a Mercedes Maybach, to buy a Lamborghini, a Ferrari? Which business are you doing? Except being a politician. Do you have a business in Nigeria? Yeah. Now you call us name. Me, that I'm still trying to, I'm not even halfway to making that millions as I want it. You with billions in your account and you are calling me names.
Yeah, not only names.
Can you come out to defend what you're calling me? If we are to dig down, are you safe? We are not saying the bad ones, the bad eggs are not present. We have them ready to even reap from you if you give them the chance. That's why we're calling for not total ban, not fully controlled. We have something called ethics. We have something called, how do I use that word? When you are not fully controlling something, but you can tell people, if you do this, if you do this, you will be arrested for it. If you do this, there will be a penalty for it. People will desist from doing the wrong thing. Social media, the use of social, Baba Tinubu said something the other time. He said, I don't go to the social media again because people abuse the hell out of me. You understand? When you see people trying to incite youths to do the wrong thing, that is very wrong. When you are being arrested for a job, you should be dealt with and face the law, right? When you do something that is against the law, you should pay for it. Which is why if you give a social media regulation, right? The internet regulation, there are things you can do. You don't have to be controlled. You can be monitored, right?
You see, you have turned it into control. What government wants to do is not essentially control.
What happened back then during Baba Buhari that they said Twitter is not paying, is not meeting up with the Nigerian demand, and so Twitter was kind of
blocked.
Twitter was blocked, right? But what did Nigeria do? We're able to use it.
Yes.
That's to tell you that we know what to do when it comes to all these things.
We cannot take that from you. The social media, you were born into it, or it came to meet you when you were. Yes, we know it.
You know that.
But we are saying that there must be some measure of control. It's not, just don't allow you to do whatever you like, because the 50-60% negativity will affect, even if it is 10%.
Why there is policing system is that when there's criminal activity somewhere, they have to be there. for it not to escalate. If there is a robbery, they have to be there. If there is a riot, something chaotic, they have to be there. The police are not following me around 247 to know what I'm doing, to know if I'm corrupt, to know if I'm doing bad things, to know if I have free movement.
But when they have cause to suspect you,
when they have cause to suspect me, right, they still have to go through process.
Yes.
You just don't hold me, right, from being free, from doing what I like, from being monitored 247. It's just you, like you putting me in a house with CCTV camera 24/7 without having the free movement.
Sometimes the Nigerian factor comes in. It is not government that ensures this. Sometimes overzealousness in some of our security officials contribute to this. The average policeman or security man thinks he has control on you, and so doesn't mind how hard he handles you. That's not the issue. You see, for now, it is also known that the average Nigerian, all he is interested in is glamour, entertainment, money, no serious job. We are not saying entertainment is not a serious job, but we are saying all of you cannot become entertainers. All of you cannot be footballers. You have a little boy, your girl, by the time he grows up and gets to 10, ask her what she wants to do, and she might surprise you. Everybody wants to be this, he wants to be that. But you have forgotten that before he became the superstar that he is, he went through the mill. Many of you don't want to go through the mill.
Back then, I could remember very well, in the early 90s, my dad, we have a farm there. You know, when we came back from the north, he came to settle down here. We have a farm at Abere. For if anybody know Abere, there's no Abere then. It used to be farm. The Alabere of Abere Palace used to be at the left-hand side of the road like this. The farm was back of that place. We have a farm. And I remember him always playing this music. This will be music. Also, Funwa, Nipa Ishe Agbe, Kebi Mapawa, Enyiwa Ola. Nigeria was thriving on agriculture back then. We later moved to oil production, right? Now, the future is there. We have a lot of things that's giving us the future we want. There will be a time they all will be depending on we dry up, right? Now, you are telling us that we trying to look at other means to generate money is not good. Entertainment is not something that is giving us money. It's giving us the money we want. Nigeria is glamorous.
Don't get us right. Wrong. Don't get us wrong.
When I'm answering your questions, I like to bring out some things for you to know that it's not as the way you're painting it. Nigerian youths are looking into different ways to rake in money. Then it used to be that if you want to import goods, you have to wait for months before it can reach you. And you have to go through a lot of people that import these goods. Now you can do it yourself. At the corner of your home, my wife is a nurse, a registered nurse. She used to work in a big company in Ogun State before she relocated to Osun. She was seeking employment in some of our state hospital or private hospital. She was being offered meager amounts of her salary with workload that will be so exhaustive over time. Now, what is she into now? We look at it, what can we do? Look at Osun State, for instance. What are people not tapping into? If you go to Igbono every Tuesday, you see people bringing their wares and all that. Jewelry is not common for people to import it. Why can't you just do that? And we're doing it. She's okay now. If you talk about she being employed now, she will not even give you a listening.
That is what we are saying.
We're looking at entertainment, Nigerian being glamorous and all these things. If you listen to Obe back then, if you listen to Barrister back then, if you listen to Kollington back then, the people he was praising, the people that sprayed them, are they ghosts? The money they are spending, where are they getting it from? They are spending their own money. Yeah. If we make money and we spend from you say, we are, okay, like the video used to say, we rise by lifting each other. You don't mind my being funny on this question, right? I'm just trying to tell you that while you're spending, someone is earning.
Yeah.
That's the circle of economy, right? When you're spending, someone is earning. Now, if you're not being glamorous, we're not entertaining ourselves. We used to say that Nigerians are the most, you know, we are suffering and smiling. If not for some of these things that we watch, that we do, depression could have taken over a lot of people.
Okay, well, we are told we have to go back. Cultism, violence, rampant amongst the youth. One word on this, and then you tell.
You see, I always tell people,
what
is the life you're living that you live in fear? What is the life that you're living that you cannot boast of tomorrow? What's the life you're living that you have to shed blood? No, that's not what cultism should be. You don't even have to be involved in all these things. The people that introduce confraternity into our institution, that's not what they introduce it for. The likes of Baba Oleshoyinka that came out with all these buccaneers of a thing, he said it the other time. He said, we want to use this for struggles, student struggles. I was talking to your friend the other day, and he told us how they were able to turn the death of one of their mates back then at the UI that used to be with riot, and they would close down their school and all that. But when they were able to turn things around, there is no bloodshed. In our institution, not even in our institution, our primary school, secondary school, let this thing start from parents. When you're being responsible, you are answerable to your children. You watch their movement and all this. Parents are becoming neglective. Please, youth out there, use your time judiciously. Leave this politician alone. Stop being a yes boy, a data boy, go to feed boy. Be yourself. Take advantage of the social media, the internet. You can live and you can thrive with that. God bless you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Yemi Afiz.
Thank you, sir.
Yusuf. If I think you, even though you were told very late, you were fully prepared for this. You wanted to vent the youth anger on the adults. But then whether you like it or not, the fact is true that you are the leaders of tomorrow, and that tomorrow begins from now. But you must also be shaped into proper positioning so that you can. So both the old and the young, we need ourselves.
Yes.
We need ourselves, and we must work together. And you must be ready to be groomed. Don't think you have, the youth, I'm talking to you all. Don't think, you have a university degree at the master's and so you have arrived. You haven't arrived. It takes some time. That has been our package for today. I have been speaking with a young man who is earning a living by himself without anything but legitimately using the internet to do what he wants to do. Well, many of us can follow suit. You don't have to wait for government, because government cannot do everything alone. That's our package. I am Adetoyese Shittu-Alamu. I thank you very much for finding time to listen to us. And when I come next week, I'm not likely to dress like this, because this is for the opportunity of meeting the young. The young shall grow. Goodbye to you all. Thank you for watching. So long.